Years ago, I had attempted to find Meadow Farm Camp unsuccessfully, and the problem was that Cold Harbor Road still does connect off of Mechanicsville Turnpike. The problem is that the new Cold Harbor Road has been relocated such that you no longer go past Beaver Dam Creek Battlefield on your left and then swing around and go up to the lane on your right. What I'm going to do now is enter the Beaver Dam Creek Battlefield Road, which I would call the old Cold Harbor Road, and show you exactly what I mean, how that road has been changed. This shows the entrance to Beaver Dam Creek Battlefield, which would be known as the old Cold Harbor Road as it goes past the battlefield on the left. You'll see what I mean as I go down the road. On the map at the beginning of the video, this road would be indicated in orange, which I believe is the location of the original old Cold Harbor Road as it goes past the battlefield on the left. I'm now approaching the battlefield on the left as old Cold Harbor Road goes past it. But you can see as we approach the end of the road, there's a fence across it now, and you can no longer get any further. Those of us who came from Richmond towards Meadow Farm Camp will remember at this point in the road that there was a sharp left-hand curve in the location, approximately in the location of the footbridge that you see over Beaver Dam Creek at the present time. What I'm going to do in the next scene is pick up the road on the other side of the creek. You cannot go this way by car, but I'll show where that road originally was. I'm now on the other side of the Beaver Dam Creek battlefield, where the old Cold Harbor Road picks up at this gate. This is a view looking up Cold Harbor Road towards camp. In this view, Dodsworth Lane would be eventually be on your right as you proceeded along Cold Harbor Road. One of the neat things I discovered is that this road right here, which is a new road that goes off to the right, is called Bruce Academy Court, which is obviously in reference to Bruce's Riding Academy, which would have been on the right as you go along Cold Harbor Road. This is where old Cold Harbor Road joins up with Harbor Hill Drive, which is kind of the location of old Cold Harbor Road, as you'll see here in a second. If you proceed down Harbor Hill Drive, you will eventually get to Dodsworth Lane on your right, and so I have reason to believe that Harbor Hill Drive is now in the location of what we would have called the old Cold Harbor Road. And sure enough, here is the sign for Dodsworth Lane, and I'm going to be proceeding down Dodsworth Lane in the next scene. Even though I'm not really sure that this is the location, original location of Dodsworth Lane, this part I do seem to remember as it drops down a little hill and then breaks away to the right. This is a view of the end of the lane as far as I can go before I have to walk in. The property is clearly posted, no trespassing, and there is a cable across to prevent cars and SUVs and ATVs from going in to the camp area. There is a house at the end of the lane. If you want to put it in your GPS, it's 7046 Dodsworth Lane. It would be on the right here. I'm looking back out where I came from to get down here, but the house that you put in to get down to this location, 7046 Dodsworth Lane. I initially started down this path that is very clear. Looked like it led to the house, but realized as I got further down that that's not the correct path. And if you look to your right and go down into that area right there, there's a path that's not nearly as well cleared, but I do believe that that leads to the house. I was correct about that second path that you take. This is at the end of the path where I've come down and come upon the old original shelter. So this is several hundred feet from Dodsworth Lane, which does seem to confirm that Dodsworth Lane is not really where it was originally when we attended camp here. I'm going to try to get in a little closer to the shelter. Fortunately, I had been prepared by Johnny McKendrick and also Jimmy Wright that things were pretty run down, and of course that you can see from this that the shelter is just a shadow of its former self. It's now being used to store wood, and the old jukebox of course is gone, but you can get a good feel for what the shelter looks like today. I'm standing about in the center of the shelter right now, and to give you a little bit better view of the old fireplace. My memory was that the jukebox used to sit in this corner right here on the right. Further past the shelter on the right, of course, you would come to the lake. You can see totally surrounded by small trees and brush and so forth. I'll get up a little closer to give you a better view of the lake. This would be the path that goes around the lake towards the boys' bunkhouse. The best view I could get of the lake from this position. The shelter would be on your right here, and as I scan across the lake, we would eventually come to what I would estimate is the approximate location of the boys' bunkhouse. We'll see if we can find that, but that's a view of the lake. I've backed up a little bit from the lake in this location, and wanted to show you there's a path off to the left that I'm quite confident would go to the main house and probably the old girls' bunkhouse that was located behind the main house. Although I'd been warned, nothing quite prepares you to see the remains of the old house, the main house. I believe at this point I'm looking into the basement where we ate. It's totally overgrown. The house is gone. The reason I say that's the basement is there's a still standing brick wall right there, and then in this corner, and there appears to be remnants of window frames right here that would be the windows out of that particular part of the house. I'm not interested in going in any further. I don't exactly know what I'll find when I step into this deep grass, whether it'll be filled with water or exactly what, so I'm not going to go into the basement. But this is looking from the front corner of the house towards the back of the house, and you can see remnants of the original chimney with the first floor and second floor fireplaces present in that particular part of the structure. I'm now at the front of the house, and coming into view are the front steps of the house. There's a large shrub, totally overgrown here, that would sit to the left of the front steps, and you can still see the total devastation of the house. Now I'm on the left-hand side of the house. You can see the chimney on the right of this picture, and I'm coming down the side of the house to the foundation. That part, everything still seems to be standing, however barely. And then as I move around, here is what I believe was an addition to the house. Has cinder block foundation. You can see the window is still in place, and I believe that was the upstairs kitchen or dining room or something. I cannot remember exactly what that was. Now I've moved around to the back of the house, which is partially still standing. You can see the window, definitely that I believe was from that upstairs kitchen that you could look back towards the older girls' bunkhouse, or the older of the two bunkhouses. And then coming into the left part of the screen is the entrance to the basement, where we used to line up to go eat down in the basement, go down those stairs to the basement. This is the foundation of the newer of the two girls' bunkhouses. This is the one that was located to the left of the main house on a slight sloping hill closer to the second lake. And you can see that the chimney is still standing for that bunkhouse, although I don't remember it having a fireplace. See a little bit closer view of the fireplace of that girl's bunkhouse, and a rear corner wall that's still standing. What is amazing to me in all this is how quickly Mother Nature takes things back if we don't work diligently to keep things cleared up. This is the older of the two girl bunkhouses. Is located directly behind the main house, and it's totally caved in. I can't get really any closer because of the dense undergrowth. This is really the only shot I can get of it. Here's a little bit different view of the lake as I'm walking towards the boys' bunkhouse. I'm located on the trail that was on top of the dam between the two lakes, and boys' bunkhouse would be probably about right there. And we'll come around. You can see the path that went across the top of the dam is actually and still is in pretty good shape. You will remember that there was a lake, a lower lake, that is gone now. I've been told by Jimmy Wright that a heavy rain made the larger lake overflow, and then the dam on the lower lake side gave way and emptied out the lake. So this is just a lower, densely overgrown area that is next to the main lake. This is a view of the lake from the boys' bunkhouse side of the lake. So we're looking back towards the main house, which would probably be about right there. And I'll pan on around so you can see the rest of it. I don't really see any signs of the boys' bunkhouse where it should be, and the overgrowth is way too thick to get through easily. I'm not prepared to chop my way through this, so this would be about where it was in this view, but I see absolutely no signs of that bunkhouse. I'm heading back across the lake, the dam between the two lakes, and certainly for what I would consider the last time. It has been a real trip down memory lane, but at the same time a little bit discouraging to see such a beautiful and historic property be reclaimed, but that by Mother Nature. But that's the way it works. If we don't take care of things, Mother Nature takes them back. If you ever plan to come to Meadow Farm Camp, you should wear long pants, hiking shoes. The underbrush is quite dense and thorny, and it's difficult at times to navigate around the property. Of course, a trip to Meadow Farm Camp wouldn't be complete without seeing Aunt Lil and Uncle Caleb, but of course they have long since passed on. They're buried in the Walnut Grove Baptist Church Cemetery off of Cold Harbor Road, and here is a shot of their gravestone. So there you have it, a brief video of Meadow Farm Camp 50 years later. My name is Bob Garland, and I was a camp counselor and camper here over 50 years ago. I hope that we both have aged gracefully in that time. I also hope that you've enjoyed this video.